today's video, we're going to take a look at some of the two-cylinder John Deere utility tractors that came out in the 30s all the way through the 1950s and culminating with the 1010 in 1960. First tractor that John Deere came out with was in the 30s. It was a Model Y, and it was more like a prototype, and they built a lot of it with just Model A Ford parts. And then they had the 62, which I think they only made maybe a dozen or two, and then they made the Model L, which my grandfather bought brand new in the 1940s, and my dad bought a Farmall Cub. So we've had both red and green tractors here. The John Deere M had a 1.6 liter motor, two-cylinder. It was a vertical two-cylinder, which was different than what John Deere was known for, which was their horizontal two-cylinder, so it sounded a little different. The 40 replaced the M. It had the same motor. And then after the 40, they came out with the 420. The 320 was actually the successor to the M because it had the same 1.6 motor. The 40 became the 420, but it was a 1.9 liter motor. So while it looks like they progressed with the M up to the 40, 420, 430, it actually went 40 and then 320, 330. So just a little note.
Literature described the John Deere B as 2/3 the size of the A in power and weight, has all the advanced John Deere general purpose features, adjustable wheel tread, ample clearance, excellent vision, easy steering, convenient controls, individually controlled rear wheel brakes, comfortable seat, roomy platform, and 4 forward speeds. So like the A, the B had a lot of variations. There was a BN, there was the BW, and the B was originally rated at 9.28 drawbar horsepower and 14.25 belt horsepower. Utility tractor describes a small tractor that performs a variety of chores. It may be the secondary tractor used for work not requiring horsepower, available in larger primary tractors on large farms, or it might be the primary tractor on smaller farms. Model L was introduced in 1937, and it was the first John Deere utility tractor. Had a two-cylinder engine, but unlike that and any other John Deere tractors of the time, it was a vertical John Deere Hercules engine. It had a foot clutch, an offset engine that aided in visibility while cultivating single rows, and John Deere Wagon Works, Moline, built the L. In 1941, the L, which could pull a one-bottom 12-inch plow in most conditions, was joined by the LA, which pulled one 16-inch bottom. The L was rated at 7 horsepower and 9.27 on the belt, and the LA was rated at 10.46 on the drawbar and 12.93 on the belt. Despite the increasing popularity of tractors, many farmers kept their horses well until the 30s. Some plowed and planted with tractors but preferred old Dobbin for the meticulous work of cultivating. Others on small farms believed the size of the operation simply did not justify a tractor, so the horse remained an important source of farm power. But in 1939, John Deere introduced the Model H, and the days of the draft horse were numbered. The H was a small tractor and met the small farmer's needs for power at a price he could afford. It was welcomed on large farms as well as an economical source of auxiliary power on lighter jobs that did not require all the power of the larger primary tractor. Finally, the Cultivision, it had a narrow tapered hood for unimpaired visibility, and a complete line of match working equipment including 2 row cultivators. The H was built along the same general lines as the A, B, and G, and shared many features with those larger row crop tractors. 4 variations of the H were produced. The HWH, which was H wide and high, had a wide front, high clearance, and the HNH, which was a single front wheel and high clearance. H was rated at 9.68 drawbar horsepower and 12.97 belt horsepower. During World War II, only variations on existing models were introduced. The LA in 1941, the GM or Style G in 1943, the A, B, and H with narrow front end and high clearance in 1944. 1947 saw significant improvements. The first fuel option, which was all-fuel or gasoline engines for the A and B, Power-Trol, which was an industry first, for remote control of towed implements. Electric starting and lighting systems became standard, and they were built in at the factory. Interchangeable front ends included a knee-action roll-o-matic, which made both steering and riding easier. That same year saw the first tractor produced at a new factory in Dubuque, Iowa. It was the M, a general-purpose utility tractor. The M had many of the features mentioned already, plus one innovation all its own, Touch-o-matic. It utilized tractor hydraulics to take the heavy work of attaching and controlling integral equipment. The M was rated at 14.39 drawbar horsepower and 18.21 belt horsepower. The first variation on the M was the MT or M tricycle, available with a single front wheel, a dual front wheels, knee-action roll-o-matic, or an adjustable front axle. The MT also featured two-lever implement control, dual touch-o-matics, for independent adjustment of tools working on either side of the tractor. Pulling the right lever raised the right cultivator rigs, pulling the left lever raised the left rigs, pulling both simultaneously raised both right and left sides. Additionally, the right and left arms could be pinned together, which was different than the farmhouse, and a single lever used to activate the power of both circuits to raise front-mounted equipment. The MT was rated at 14.08 drawbar horsepower, 18.33 belt horsepower. The first totally John Deere built crawler was the MC. It was manufactured at the Dubuque factory, and the MC had 12-inch tracks standard, 10 or 14-inch optional. The tread widths went from 36 to 42 inches, and those in northwestern orchardists liked the MC for its hillside stability. Crawler traction and flotation also meant it could work in mud and snow, and those capabilities made the MC a popular logging tractor in New England and swampy southern timber regions. Besides its use in the far west, the MC became popular for general farming in areas where crawlers were preferred. The MC was rated at 13.70 drawbar horsepower and 18.89 belt horsepower. Introduced in 1953, the 40 standard, 40 tricycle, and 40C crawler replaced the M, MT, and MC. The 40 series tractors were Dubuque built, smaller brothers of the 50 and 60 and 70. Family resemblance was most evident in the styling, but as the advertisement of the day said, the resemblance is more than skin deep. Features similar to the larger Waterloo tractors included an improved 3-point hitch, live hydraulic power for easy raise and lower and precision setting of work and equipment, and Touch-o-matic, which allowed individual control of cultivator sections right and left. Popular features retained from the M series included 4 forward speeds, adjustable wheel tread, power takeoff and self-energizing, independent rear brakes for short stops and short turns. Compared with the discontinued M tractors, both the 40 standard and 40 tricycle tractors had larger fuel tanks, new radiator and grill with a deep fluted, easy-to-clean screen ahead of the radiator, and service of the battery was made easier with a more practical design of the battery compartment. These tractors were also easy to mount and dismount and had an adjustable seat with coil spring suspension. 40 series tractors also boasted approximately 15% more horsepower than their M series predecessors. The 40 tricycle was rated at 17.16 drawbar and 21.45 belt. The 40C crawler, introduced in late 1953, offered the same increase in power, operator comfort, and styling advantage as other 40 series tractors, and it had one other significant advantage, an ever-widening market. The Pacific Northwest orchardists who pioneered the use of small crawlers there did so because crawlers provided hillside stability, and the good flotation appealed to New England maple sugar producers who tended their trees while snow still covered the ground. Southern foresters who cut timber in swampy woodlands, builders who needed a tractor to scoot over mounds of freshly excavated soil, and those farmers who needed to work in fields too soggy to support wheel tractors. The 40C had a desirable balance of horsepower, weight, and ground speeds. This balance and approximately 15% power boost over the MC made it suitable for many applications beyond the capacity of the MC. A tool carrier, specially designed for John Deere crawlers, permitted easy attachment of plows. The radiator on the 40C could be protected with a shield, and it was a necessary option in woodlot, orchard, and forest operations to protect the radiator and lights from branches. The 40C was rated at 15.11 drawbar horsepower and 21.24 belt horsepower. It was predictable that farmers who admired features in a large tractor would ask for these same features in smaller tractors more closely matched to their power requirements. John Deere anticipated these demands in the mid-50s and planned the total 20 series package to include two utility models, the 320 and 420. Like the bigger 20 series tractors from Waterloo, the 320 from Dubuque had the new 3-point hitch with load and depth control, Touch-o-matic hydraulics, adjustable coil spring cushion seat, and independent disc brakes. Starting was easy with a push button. Special equipment for the 320 included a lighting package with two forward lights, one rear, and an instrument panel light, auxiliary hydraulic outlet for one remote cylinder, a rear wheel jack, and a PTO shaft. The 320 was available as a standard utility tractor, and it was rated at 1 or 2, and it was never tested at the Nebraska test station. The 420 tractor came set up just about any way a buyer wanted it. In fact, there were so many 420 confirmations that advertising literature of the day referred to the 420 fleet rather than a single model. There was a 420 general-purpose tractor with dual-wheel tricycle front end, another essentially the same with a single-wheel front end, and a third with a wide front end. There was a 420 standard, a 420 high crop with 32 inches of under-axle clearance, and a 420 special with 27-inch clearance over the row and a wide range of wheel spaces. There were two 420 utility models, one which straddled and cultivated two rows, and another with a low profile for grove, orchard, and vineyard work. Finally, there were two 420 crawler options, one with a 4-roller track and the other with 5 rollers to provide maximum flotation, traction, and fore and aft stability. The 420 was rated at 20.31 drawbar horsepower and 24.83 belt horsepower. The 330 and 430 were the utility tractors in the 30 series, but were also available in other configurations. The 330 is a standard tractor for 1 or 2 row farming, the 430 as a row crop, and these Dubuque-built tractors incorporated many of the convenience features from the bigger Waterloo 30 series tractors, including the slanted, easy-to-read instrument panel, tilted steering wheel, adjustable deep cushion seat, and familiar names and terminology were found among the list of options like Touch-o-matic, 3-point hitch with load and depth control, power-adjusted rear wheels. The 330 and 430 were both powered by John Deere built 2-cylinder valve in-head engines. The 330 was available as a gasoline model only and had a 4-speed transmission with speeds from 1.58 or 1 5/8 to 12 miles per hour. The 330 had ample power to pull two 12-inch bottoms in most soil conditions and approximately 21.5 rated belt horsepower.